Thank you for joining us again for Let the Bible Speak. Today we continue really subject matter that I started yesterday was around the idea of being satisfied. And Paul writing to Timothy in 1 Timothy chapter 6 was writing this in contrast to a person who wants stuff, who may want money. And today we sort of talk about those who have a desire to be rich. And we get that from 1 Timothy 6, verse 9 and verse 10. He says, "But those who desire to be rich, they fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and harmful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition." And so here's a person that says, I want to be successful in this life. And in and of itself, there's nothing wrong with that. But if a person desires money or riches to the point that they show that they have a love for it above all else, then that person is putting themselves at risk. And it starts with, it seems to be the birth of this attitude is when I just start with a desire. I want to be rich. I want the things that riches can afford me. In verse 10, he says, "For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil, for which some have strayed from the faith in their greediness," he says, "and pierced themselves through with many a sorrow." He's talking about those who had obeyed the gospel of Jesus Christ, and they strayed because of their desire for riches, because of their love of money. You might think about a man by the name of Judas. Judas might come to mind. He's a man that sold out the Savior 30 pieces of silver. And then so here's a man that had a desire for a love of money, and he strayed from the faith. And then there are those who never ever come to the faith because they're in love with prestige. They are in love with money. They are in love with things, what this life can give them. I encourage you to consider whether or not you fall into that category. Are you a person who desire to be rich? In Proverbs chapter 1, verse 19, it says, "So are the ways of everyone who is greedy for gain. It takes away the life of its own." And you can go back and you can read all of Proverbs chapter 1. I grabbed that little snippet because he makes the observation. And here's the problem with a person who's greedy for gain. Gain takes away the life of its own. Just some things to think about. If you'd like to study these things deeper, if you have other questions, give us a call, 843-553-5157, and we will study together. You let us know what you need. There's a recording, leave a brief message concerning your needs, and then we will connect with you and see if we can answer your question from the scriptures. We'll see you next time.